Hello Aquarius, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. I hope you enjoy the reading. Please don't forget to like and share. So in the first house we have Saturn return age. The first house is everything to do with yourself, your physical body, your personality, your characteristics, what other people see when they look at you and when they interact with you, how you come across to them, what you project outwards to them as well. And it's also your actual your actual body and your own personal self-oriented interests as well. It's your personal independence, how you're making your way through the world, and your outlook and just your general demeanor, how you come across to other people. So when people look at you, your first impression is what they see, and that's normally your ascendant has quite a bit to do with that, so look at that as an option for you for other readings that I have. But with Saturn return age coming into the first house, what it brings to the fore here is the gaining or the application of wisdom and understanding that has been gained through time, because it is a Saturn return. Saturn does a revolution around the chart once every 29 years. And so you could be approaching a first one, or you could be approaching the second one, or even a third one, just depends. But it normally implies the gaining of wisdom and understanding through time. And so what has stood the test of time for you, however that plays out for you? So what is working for you, what is not working for you? You need to release what is not working for you. This is a period of taking stock. So there's sort of deep analysis required there. You may need to streamline. You may need to cut back on certain things. You need to leave certain things in the past so that you can move forward. This is very much a time-related card. So when you look back now over the past year, or however many years you look back, you will see that you have gained wisdom. You will have better understanding of certain issues with time. That's very much what this card is about. You could also be dealing with age issues of some kind. So this is gaining maturity, or gaining wisdom, or gaining understanding, or it could be physical issues such as just feeling older. There could be teeth issues, there could be bone issues, there could be skeletal issues, just generally feeling older and feeling more mature, going grey, that sort of thing. Or it may be that you are wanting to plan for retirement, or for certain times of your life where where you need to cut back, or you may be planning certain things to do with your future life. You may also be feeling with this card that you're running out of time. If you're an older person and you're looking back at your life, and you may be thinking, well, what have I achieved really in the last 20 years? Why haven't I achieved enough? Should I have achieved more? Or should I have done more? Should I have done this? And you start to question yourself. So this is a very necessary process. But you may just feel that you're running out of time. You may feel that there's a correction of some kind required. This card is about taking a realistic look at everything. It's also about taking responsibility for your own dreams and goals as well. You may have put those on hold for others, for your family, or for your partner, or for some other person that's close to you at this time. But this card is saying to you now that you need to actually take responsibility for your own path. Anything that you are being successful at, or that you're making great strides at this time with this card, will gain momentum, and it will be solid, and you will have success from that. So whatever is working for you, and it's steaming along at a steady pace, then that is a good thing, and that you can expect success from that at some point. So it's gaining momentum, it's gaining weight. You could also be feeling that there could also be a male figure involved in this. This is almost like a mentor type, or some sort of form of guidance, a male figure that's giving you guidance at this time. or can give you guidance at this time, so like a mentor or an elder, or just somebody who's got the wisdom and the weight of their years on them, and the maturity and the understanding. So they may be able to help you at this time with certain things as well. This card, if you're planning something with any one of the first house issues, it could just be something that you're wanting to do. December, January is connected generally with this card. Then in the second house, we have lunar eclipse change. So the second house is your house of income. It's your money that's coming in, however that comes in for you. It's also the house of your self-worth and your value systems. What you value in yourself, what you value in others, and in your possessions. It governs all possessions and ownership. It also governs land, real estate, property, anything like that. So with lunar eclipse change coming in, this is it's obviously going to bring in change for you. It's cyclical, and it could be quite an abrupt change or an abrupt upheaval of some kind, or it could be a bubbling over. So this is something that was there that you didn't perhaps acknowledge, or you just didn't have the energy to deal with it, or it was something that in the back of your mind, well, now it comes up and front and center and it needs to be dealt with, but it will come up with such speed that it does take you by surprise. So this card, as I said, it could be an abrupt change, or it could be a new perspective that you're gaining, or a new outlook in some way. Something happens and now you have this new perspective. It will bring a necessary and inevitable change. It could be an unexpected shift forward or to a new level in some way. You could also be looking at memories of some kind, looking back, and this is indicative of this card in your first house as well. You could be looking back and thinking, this hasn't worked, what can I do now? Or something will come up which will cause you to have a thorough assessment and a reorganization of things. This card can bring in endings and beginnings, which brings about a new start of some kind. You could also be giving up old habits, habits that don't suit you anymore, that are not working for you, things that you've been doing almost robotically for years. Well, something comes along and shifts you out of that, so that brings in your new perspective or your new outlook. Once the shift has occurred, or the upheaval or the change or whatever has come for you, it can complete within 6 months, or it can take place over complete within 6 weeks, or it can take place over a 6-month period. So there is maybe a female influence in there as well, but it indicates cycles and moods and changing circumstances which are following a path as well. Then in the third house, we have Aquarius. I know your third house is everything to do with your communication, all forms of communication. So this is written, verbal, body language, how you express yourself, basically. It's also, this house also governs documents and contracts of all kinds. It also rules interactions with certain family members, apart from the general public and other people that you're meeting all the time, every day, with certain family members that will be siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, in-laws, and it can also refer to your neighbors as well. Okay, so with this card coming in, it is a futuristic type of card. So it could be that you are getting glimpses of the future. And this was sort of indicated as well with this card in your first house, where you're looking forward, you're looking to, it's to do with age and where you're going to be in 20 years' time, where you're going to be in 30 years' time, and so on. And this may come in to do with that as well. Or it could just be that you are very quick to pick up on trends for the future, your trends and also trends in general, to do with communication, or with your communication, or with those family members that I mentioned, or to do with your form of expression and communication in general. This can be technology as well. So you could be, as I said, seeing glimpses of the future, trends, new paths, new ways of doing things. You could be mastering new things at this time, and that could involve technology or new forms of communication or new platforms for communication. You are going to be probably tested at this time with this card. There's some kind of testing going on for you. It could be that you're testing your ideas or testing new ways of doing things. for your ideas and what you want to implement in the future, you're going to receive support from friends and alliances, and it could be almost like they form almost like a family for you. So that is support for how you want to move forward, your ideas and your your intuitions on things and what you see happening. These methods of communications or methods of communication, or what it is that you're dealing with, your technology that you're mastering and so on, it could be unconventional, it could be just different from everything else out there. It could be unusual. You could be meeting people who are very unconventional, who are different, or who are unusual in some way. They could just be different, have a different sexual orientation to yourself, or they could be quite bohemian, or they could be quite cutting edge. So you could be coming into contact with people of all kinds in your communication sphere. You could also be hearing ideas from them, or interacting with them and exchanging ideas with them. This card also brings in the need to be rational, to employ reasoning when it comes to making decisions or what it is you want to do. So this is reasoning and rationality. You don't want to be too disconnected, because you are already an Aquarian, so this is already going to affect you that way. So you don't want to be too disconnected from what you say and how you express yourself. You do need to bring in some emotional aspects, and also to get your ideas and your point across. You've got to connect with other people. You can't be too disconnected, because then you're just not going to get your point across and get your point of view across as well as you'd hoped. So take all that into account when it comes to how you want to implement these communication strategies, or mastering these new things, or just floating your ideas about the future, Okay, then in the fourth house, we have part of fortune increase. Your fourth house is your house of home. So this is your physical home, your actual bricks and mortar where you live currently, or it could also be the atmosphere in the home or the people in your home. It's also about your relationship with your ancestry, your foundation, your roots, your family tree, your ethnic identity. It's your relationship with all of that. Perhaps that's been troublesome for you. Perhaps you've had a few issues over that. And with this part of fortune increase coming in, what it is, it's going to smooth the waters over. It's going to help you to overcome difficulties or conflicts, or any kind of, you're going to be able to move forward on that and put certain things behind you. It can also bring fate and destiny to you. So it could be gifts or rewards of some kind. You could be going into easier times, as I said, easier times coming towards you now. You could also be more creative and more artistic than normal. So all kinds of creative and artistic endeavors are favored at this time in your home environment. So you may need to study further on that as well. And that's also very well indicated with this card. But success is there if you want it to. If you're going to go after it, opportunities will come to you, things will come to you. There could be karmic triggers, which then what they do is they bring about a sort of a filtering upwards of talents and abilities that you have, which perhaps have not been acknowledged up till now. Or you were aware of them, but you've just never used them. So you could get a surprise and suddenly realize you have a talent or an ability for something, or it could be now that you're harnessing this aspect of yourself which you haven't really used previously. So it could be triggered by a karmic event of some kind, or it could just be triggered and now it starts to rise to the surface, and so now it becomes available to you, this talent or this ability, and you may need to study further to do with that as well. But all of this is kind of home related, so possibly it's to do with something to do with the home. Maybe it's building, maybe it's renovating, maybe it's interior decoration, or working from home in some way, creating a home environment which is conducive for healing. There's lots of ways that can come in for you in your fourth house. It could also be that you are setting up a creative outlet at your home, whether it's art or pottery or something like that. All sorts of study, any kind of gathering of knowledge is important. You're going to be moving ahead in some way. There could also be recognition of some kind. So if you have a home studio and you're now starting to produce work, which it gains recognition in some way, or it could be the type of home that you have, the type of building that you want to do, or some technique that you come up with around a home environment. This card is also about finding balance within your home. If none of those things are applying, then this is going to bring harmony and balance into your home life. Then in the fifth house, we have Mercury mind. Your fifth house is your house of it's your house of creativity, so all creative projects that you may be involved in. It's also the house of children, whether they're your children or other children that you're involved with at this time. It's also the house of love affairs, and it's the house of recreational activities of all kinds, whether that's sports or handcrafts or some other kind of fun activity. There is also a speculative aspect to this, so that could be gambling or stock exchange, so some kind of activity that you're involved with. With this card coming in, communication is highly indicated again all round in this house. So it's really going to be very, very important. Your words and how you speak and how you express yourself is going to be very, very important. So whether this is you talking to your children or children you're involved with, or talking to your, a partner that's coming into your life now, it's going to be really important. Even for a creative project that you have, or if you're in some kind of activity with others. How you can communicate, keeping your wits about you, bringing humor in. It's sharpness, it's mental activity going in here. You could also be receiving messages or information or news of some kind coming to you, any one of those areas. You could also be hearing gossip or scandal connected to any one of those areas in the fifth house. Just be aware of that. Just be aware of that. You may also need to just walk your talk in some way as well. So pay attention to what is going on around you, what is going on with your children, what is going on in your love affair or in your activities that you're busy with. What you say and how you say it is going to be really key. You could also, with the mental side of Mercury coming in, you could come across as a bit glib or a bit fickle. So just be aware of that behavior. But keep your wits about you, bring humor in, speak clearly, think clearly, put your thoughts down clearly. You may need to talk yourself out of an issue or put your point across in such a way that it's well received. This card can also bring in technological advancements or technological upgrade in any one of those areas for you. It could be your children going through all of this, and you are going through it with them because you're involved with them. The flexibility, reasoning, and observation come in with this card as well. So apply that to any one of those areas. When it comes to a love interest, it could be that you're attracting somebody like this with Mercury strong in their chart. They could be a Gemini, or they could be ruled by a Virgo. Be a Virgo, which is also ruled by Mercury. So there's a couple of aspects, or they could just have a very strong Mercurian aspect to their personality coming in for you. And it could also be that a person starts out as a friend first before they become a love interest. That's strongly indicated with this card as well. Then in the sixth house, we have fire element desire. So this is the sixth house is the house of work, workplace, work colleagues. It's your work projects, whatever you may be busy with. It's also mastery of your craft, whatever that is for you. It's also a house of health and diet, and also the house of pets. So with a fire element desire coming in, what it is, it's kind of a wake-up call for you, this. So it's like a fire has been lit. This is about getting started. This is about pushing ahead. This is about finding courage to do something which you need to do. It's also strength, that you may be gathering your courage and your strength to start something or do something. You may be gaining a new perspective as well. It's all new, pushing ahead, action. Measured action is the very best way to harness the best abilities of this card. This is not rash rushing around type of action. This is measured action to gain the best from what is going on. But it's a new start. It could be a sudden change in direction as well in this house, a sudden shift, like I said, some sort of wake-up call or epiphany, and a sudden change of direction. There are quick developments coming in for you. But in all cases, it's important to be honest about what you want and what you're doing. You may need to act assertively in some way or with someone in this house. You could have ego flying around, whether it's yours or somebody else's or other people's. Just keep that in check as well. Just because that could, that could actually influence how you're working or what you're doing. You may need to protect your interests in some way. The type of ego that is flying around could be sort of a bulldozing type of energy where you just don't get a chance to actually, sort yourself out or protect your interests or get things going for yourself. Or they could just override you in some way and take credit for something that you've been doing. So just be aware of that. But it's a get started card. It's a fire is lit card. Get going card. When it comes to health and diet, you could be issues with blood pressure may come up and rushing. So just rather slow down. As I said, measured action is the very best way to handle the energies of this card. Then in the 7th house we have Gemini, I think. The 7th house is everything to do with your personal one-on-one relationship. So whether this is a love relationship or a business partnership, or it could be some other relationship one-on-one that you're involved with currently. So with this coming in, this card is actually can be the soulmate card of the zodiac as well. So this could be the love affair that was the Mercury ruled person that could come in as a love affair in your 5th house may progress to a full-blown relationship in your 7th house, and this could be a soulmate. So this is somebody really important, somebody life-changing for you. So that may come in for you. If that is not applicable, it could also be that you are, if you're in a steady, established relationship, it could be that you're just feeling a bit like you're in two minds about something. You're indecisive, or you're restless in some way, or you could just be distracted at this time, or both of you could be like that. You could also be nervous and excitable about something that's going on. With this card in your 7th house, use your words with care. Very, very important. Communication is really important with this card. Writing is important. All written documents, anything written, anything legal, anything like a contract or some sort of legal document is going to be really important. It must be worded correctly. It could also be that you are being discussed by others. Perhaps you're involved in some kind of, some sort of event which is being talked about by others, or it could be that people are talking about you or your relationship. Or it could be that you're asked to talk it through with your partner. There's various issues that are coming up. This is a mental aspect. It's an air element, so it's all about communication. And that's perhaps you need to just sit down with the person and actually get to grips with all aspects of your relationship, what needs to be done, how you're going to move forward, and so on. It's also, as I said, linked to your 5th house, which was Mercury in your 5th, which is could be a love affair or somebody like that coming into your life who has Mercury strong in their chart, and they're going to want to be like that. So they may also lead you to communicate better in some way, which could be a growth aspect, which could be a soulmate aspect as well, because they do help you to grow and to find the best part of yourself. So, but in all cases, communication is high, excitability is high, and a decision may need to be made at some point. Then in the 8th house, we have Neptune sacrifice. This is linked to your 2nd house, which was your money house, your income house. This is the 8th house, which is your big finance house. So the two are connected. And you had lunar eclipse change in your 2nd house, and now you have Neptune sacrifice in your 8th house. Your 8th house is the house of big finance, so this will be accounting, banking, tax, investments, insurances, trusts, legacies, inheritances. It's also the house of handling other people's money. It's the house of the deeper commitment within a partnership, whether that's a love partnership or a business partnership. It's the merging of your emotional and physical resources. So when you come together in a partnership, you have to combine your finances, you have to combine your living situation, your emotions are involved, and so on. It's also the deepest sexual commitment within a love partnership. So this house is also is also quite a powerhouse. It's at the house of beginnings and endings in some ways as well. So with this coming in, I feel what it is about is that there's some kind of trimming or some kind of change which is coming in for you, and that starts with the first house and it comes into your second house, which is your money house. There's some kind of rearrangement that needs to be done there. So whether this is you linking up with your soulmate and you're now moving forward into some kind of set relationship, some kind of partnership, or it could be that it's in your existing relationship, whether it's a business or a love partnership, and things need to be changed or changed up or rearranged in some way. So some sacrifices are required for the greater good. Okay, so this is normally around ego issues. Okay, so some sacrifices for the greater good are going to be required here. But don't lose your boundaries. All right, you need to still have your boundaries, and you've got to work together. As I said, your communication is going to be highly, highly important at this time to thrash through this, to get clear on this, because Neptune can cast a veil over things. It can make things a bit confused, or like things are not clear, or that you don't have all the facts, or that there could even be deception in some way lurking in this house. So the most important thing with this card is to be clear with your communication. Get as clear as you possibly can with all issues, everything. Get everything sorted out, because there is this possibility of feeling that things are not quite settled, that you haven't got everything sorted out, or a bit of confusion, or the unknown is coming in some way. Self-sabotage can come in with this as well, so self-undoing. Be clear and upfront. There must be no illusions with this card around. You will be feeling very sensitive and possibly even vulnerable at this time, or your partner is, the person that you're involved with. This could also be, as I said, if you're handling other people's money, if that's part of your profession, then there's some kind of rearrangement going on, some kind of changes coming in, which will entail a cutting back of some kind. And there may be sensitivity around that, but above all things, avoid the confusion and the unknown. You must be clear and upfront in all issues with this house and with this card. Then in the 9th house, we have Capricorn IUs. So the 9th house is your house of all things international. So whether that's international travel or meeting people from other countries, interacting with foreign concepts of all kinds, whether this is business or belief systems or cultures. So everything international. It's you meeting the world or the world meeting you in some way. It's also the house of adventure and exploration, which does tend to go hand in hand with travel or with dealing with foreign countries. It's an adventure. It's a different, bringing in different concepts to what you know in your own place. It's also the house of further education and study. So you will be meeting, sort of pursuing understanding of all different other aspects of the world when you start to study. So this is further education, higher education as in university level. This is also adult education in some way. So it's also could be that you are studying philosophy, or that you're interested in religion or various types of belief systems. They all fall under this house. It's the search for meaning and purpose as well. This house is also about teaching. And you may be qualifying as a teacher, or you may want to teach, or you may be receiving teaching, education in some way. It's the house of publishing. It's the house of promotional work of all kinds. It's the house of the higher courts and the law. And it's your relationship with your in-laws, right? So it's the gaining of wisdom in all different ways, but it has a very strong international side to it. So now with this card coming in Capricorn IUs, whatever it is you want to do in the 9th house, Capricorn IUs, you really need to set your goals and your ambitions. and you need to be driven about that as well. So this may be bringing that in for you. This card is about harnessing all the support and the contacts that you can possibly get. So everybody you meet, all your contacts, all your networks, everybody that you're interacting with, harness all their potential, harness their, their knowledge if you can. Do it in such a way that you are going to, that it will assist you in some way. It's about getting systems in place. That's very much indicated with this card. There may be social aspects that you can harness at this time with this card to get ahead. It's steady progress with this card. There's no quick fix with this. This is steady, dogged progress, methodical, diligent, realistic, one brick at a time. This is how this card works. You're building with this. There are no shortcuts. It's going to take effort and it's going to take diligence to meet your goals, but you must set your goals, you must set your ambitions and work steadily towards that as well. I mean, even if it's for an overseas trip that you're planning, this is really about planning. Get your systems in place and harness all your contacts. Perhaps there's a whole lot of people you need to visit there. And so on. So it's about getting everything in place and getting everything ready and building up to what it is you want. Then in the 10th house, we have Jupiter return benefits. Lovely card coming in for you on your 10th house. 10th house is the house of career, reputation, fame, public status, your public status. It's also the house of authority figures of all kinds. So whether this is a mentor or a person in your family or some other figure that you look up to in some way, a role model. So it really is an ambitious house, this one. So now with Jupiter return benefits, we've got another return card coming in for you. So this is implying that something's coming back to you from before. So Jupiter normally takes about 12 years to go around the 12 houses of the zodiac. So this could be something from between 10 and 12 years ago, or it could just be a concept from a few years ago. Something that you perhaps started and didn't finish, or something that which was an idea that was never fully launched, or something that has been fallow or inactive for some time. Anyway, whatever it is, it's something that didn't quite launch or take off, or it was shelved. It could even just have been an idea. But this is something that's coming back to you, and it's going to come back to bear fruit in some way. It's going to bring something back to you. So it's also like it's sort of a form of earned luck, something that you've earned over a period, which is coming back to you now. So something from the past bears fruit. Doors open, some kind of opportunity or opportunities come to you. There's expansion there. You're going to get the advantage in some way. It's a foothold in some way. It could be, as I said, a door opens and now you have the advantage. You can move forward on that particular thing. Perhaps it's something from the past that you thought was dead and gone. This is also about dreams manifesting. This card can bring that in as for you as well. So this is something that you wanted or dreamt about or thought about before, and now it comes to you. It could also just be that you have faith. Faith is coming back to you in some way. Faith and strength to carry on. It is a destiny card, however, so whatever is coming back to you in this house is meant for you. So follow all opportunities, whatever comes up, because the opportunities will come quickly. They'll surface. You'll have a period of time in which to act on them, not for very long, and then it will go. So pick up whatever comes to you with this, whatever opportunities, follow them all, as many as you can, because somewhere in there will be the right thing for you. Not all of them will pan out, or you may just discover other things while you're exploring. But it's a quick action required here. You also need to keep your feet on the ground, use your discernment with what you're following up on as well. Learning, publishing, all of these things are indicated here, but it's an all-round improvement in this house. That is what is coming in for you. Then in the 11th house, we have Chiron healing. The 11th house is your house of networks, your groups that you're a member of, whether it's a society or an association or some kind of club. all kinds of group situations. It could be you in a group of companies as well. However that comes for you, but it's you with others in some kind of group situation. It's also the house of friendships, so that might be front and center for you this time around. So it's also your personal hopes and wishes and dreams and your hobbies and interests. It's also a global or group consciousness or social reform can also come in on this house. So with Chiron healing coming in, if it's to do with a friendship, it could be that there's an old wound or some old issue or some sorrow that is surfacing now, something coming up for you. These things keep coming up until you deal with them. So when something surfaces like this, what it's asking you to do is to hold that issue up into the light. See it clearly. See the role it played in your life and the reason why it was there, good or bad, however you perceive good or bad. You must accept it and then let it go. So that acceptance is hugely important, all right, because it's played a role in your life. It wouldn't have appeared there if it wasn't going to do that. So whatever it is, acknowledge it, accept it, and then let it go. So there's contemplation involved with this. There could also, as if it's to do with groups that you're involved in, it's into your interaction in those groups, or perhaps you had an encounter in a group, or there was a group situation that didn't work for you, or a network, or a contact, or a group of contacts. But there's healing required in order for you to move forward. So there's contemplation, there could be redemption in there as well. There's also, this card does tend to bring up health issues, or the studying and the publishing of natural remedies, therapies, medicines, all kinds of natural or alternative ways of healing. All of that comes in. So it could be an interest of yours, or you could be joining groups which are, you're learning more about this. Or it could be that a friend of yours is going through something, a health issue, or they've had an accident and you're actually going through this with them and you're learning about natural remedies, natural therapies, but it could also be just medicine as well. There's experiences there which you're learning from. This card is also about teaching and learning as well. So you could be involved in some way with that, with others. It's also a nature card. So it's a very good time. It's a very healing time to be out in nature, whether this is you with your friend or friends, or you with a group. Perhaps you need to join a group which is more nature-based. All of these things are going to be beneficial for you at this time. Then in the 12th house, we have Leo, I will. So the 12th house is quite a broad house. Again, it's basically the unconscious, your unconscious self. So where you go when you're needing to contemplate your spiritual life, when you want to meditate, it's the house of mysticism. It's the house of healing, again, coming up for you. It's also the house of reflection, where you go to reflect, to withdraw, to retreat. Which can also lead to escapism of all kinds, which also falls under this house. And following hot on the heels of escapism comes, addictions of all kinds. This is also the house of service to others. So you could be in a service profession. This could be like a doctor or a nursing or some kind of caring profession, or just service to others in general. It's also the house of karmic lessons coming in for you. It can also bring in your interactions in institutions of all kinds, what your experience is there. So if you've got a friend who's ill and is going into hospital or some kind of institution, your experiences with them there. It could also just be you going through these institutions of all kinds. So that's universities, libraries, government departments, hospitals, libraries, any kind of institution. With Leo, I will coming in, I do feel that what this is about is you connecting to your spirit, your deeper spirit, your childlike self, your inner child. This card is about having fun. It's about harnessing your creativity, your originality, your individuality. So this is about stand up and be counted. It's a stand up and be counted kind of card. It could also be that you may have the desire to have more fun, to let loose, to relax, to go out and have more fun, enjoy being out and about, going to concerts, going out to restaurants, socially, interacting socially, and so on. It could also be the arts. You're appreciating the arts in some way. Children are highly indicated with this card as well. So it's about it's also about connecting to your spirit and connecting to your inner child and relaxing around that as well and having fun with that. It's about being more open, more playful, and especially if you are connecting with a particular love interest like a soulmate or something like that, that's going to be very necessary to open up that relationship as well. So it's about openness, it's about optimism. That's what this card is very much connected to. I do feel it's very much connected to your 5th house and your 7th house, which are love interest and relationship based. It's about being open, being playful. There's romance in there as well. It's about having fun. It's about connecting to your inner child and just being more generous and optimistic about life in general. Okay, I do hope you have a wonderful month, Aquarius, and don't forget to like and share or like and subscribe. Take care, and we'll see you next time.